I grew up watching Bob, watched him do some really cool stuff on the track, thinking that, hopefully I can do that someday.
I always had a thing. I always watched Potter growing up. I mean, he would just kind of always be there, and you never really see him do anything too out of control or too flashy, but the next thing you know, with 5 laps to go, he's sitting there inside the top 5. And then they get a couple of restarts, and then he's sitting third. And then they get another restart, and, the next thing you know, he's in the lead, but you don't really remember how he got there.
Probably one of the smoothest drivers out there.
In our era, he was the modified representative. He had been there for a long time.
You think of all the handicap start features that guy ran. So if you saw him win 50 races, he started further back than 10th. So you saw Bob Potter pass 500 cars, at least, in your life. I mean, you think about that with certain guys that always came from the back, the number of quality passes you saw them make. And again, Potter's another guy, like Dick Dunn, that I never associate with crashing or any of that. Maybe later on as the SK division got more equal, where everybody had an equal car, I saw Bob involved in some stuff like that.
For some reason, that car it's the best I'd ever felt. So I said, well, I'm going to the outside. And Mark Lajeunesse was in the front of me.
Quite an exciting night of stock car racing, and as it continues here in the open wheel division.
So I'm going by him right on the outside. I was coming out of the second corner, and front 2 guys got crossed up.
Moves forward, we've got problems on the backstretch. We've got a car right out of the ballpark. We've got a car out of the ballpark on the backstretch, ladies and gentlemen. It appears to be car number 31 of Bob Potter.
Something happened in front of us, and somebody got crossed up in front of us, and then I hit the brakes hard to avoid it, and then I got hit in the back, and somehow Bob come along.
I was wide open, and I was on it. When I was on it, I wasn't that far behind Mark.
However, I got turned around, and he went up over my wheels, and off he went.
It flipped me up more, and then it just went up. And the fence must have caught the car or something on the bottom of the car. And it's funny because when the car came down, it came down right on that fence. And I didn't even feel like it wasn't even a hard landing, Like it was soft. I felt like it.
It was almost like one of those, like, you don't think it really happened.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
I always knew it was possible for that to happen, but never thought I'd see it,
He caught those cables just wrong.
I watched the fence folding up around his car, and I watched the entire fencing around the entire racetrack.
It just pulled all the way around the track. The wires were pulling.
So as I'm throwing the red, I feel a breeze. I'm like, what the hell is that?
It whipped back and forth all the way around the track. It was an amazing thing to see.
That's back when we didn't have a walkway either. You could walk wherever you wanted to on that road. So we'd happen to walk right where he landed 5 minutes earlier. So it landed on its feet, sitting in the pit road, looking at the racetrack.
It was funny seeing him sit up on the angle of the brook.
I remember it took a long time to get the car off it because the wreckers were trying to figure out how to get it off without, demolishing it.
And I remember walking down the backstretch after everybody had cleared out and just walking around and looking at, the fence, and that was just an amazing sight.
I remember everybody crowding in over there after it did happen.
For the people in the stands, you get that collective gasp. For somebody like myself that had been in a race car, my first thought is, I'm sure it's fine.
Well, it was wild, but it was like one of my easiest wrecks. As far as I didn't get hurt, I wasn't sore.
Luckily, you didn't get hurt, but the races were over for the night. That was it.
The show was suspended after that happened. There was no way we could run. The track just wasn't safe to run on.
Races were canceled for the night because it was unsafe for the way it was tore up.
The rest of the night got canceled, and that bummed me out more than anything. I'm like, come on, man, we can't go racing.
I got a phone call. I was working in Chicago at the time.
Oh, so you weren't there?
I wasn't even there. My brother called me. He says, you ain't going to believe this. He says,
Bob went out of the track, and I'm like, "You're kidding me." So I, is he okay? It was the first thing I asked. He goes, "Oh yeah, he's fine." He got out of the car, and I said, "The next thing," he goes, "What's the car look like?" He goes, "It's a mess."
There was a comical part about that the competitors are saying they had a rule that you had to leave the racetrack under your own power to return to the race. There was no doubt he left under his own power, so he got to rejoin the race the week after.
I was so mad because I was stupid. I did a mistake, and I made a mistake. Got on it too early, but when the car felt, and when that car feels good, when every tire is biting and they're all biting the same, and it feels like they got claws, they're digging into the track. You want to go, you just don't want to hold back. I didn't want to hold back, but I learned after that, Rick, not to do that no more.